Hello, my crafty friends. Today I wanted to share a Flip Its card with you, and it has a little bit of an extra flap, which is kind of cool. So I have a craft envelope. I decorated the flap of it with washi tape, and when I do that, I lay the washi tape longer than the flap, apply it, and then I pull it up and add glue right on those two little edges there. Smooth it back down and then snip off the excess, and that way I know that washi tape's not going to lift when it goes through the mail. There's a little sparkly autumn corn on there, and then here's my Flip Its card. So it opens like this, which is a normal Flip Its, and then there's this whole extra flap. Now I do have a Flip Its that I bought specifically because it has this extra flap, but I'm filming this in late August, and Stephanie Barnard, who designed the Flip Its dies, showed a video on how to do this with other Flip Its, so I had to try it right away. Very excited about that, and I will have her video linked on my blog, which will be linked in the description box below. So I decorated my card with some older Doodlebug pattern paper and some stickers from my stash. Now the stickers I end up adhering to white cardstock and then fussy cutting them out. That gives them a little bit of stability, and it also allows me to pop them up with foam tape. This piece here was actually a border strip on the pattern paper in the Doodlebug stack, and I've had it for a very long time. So I'm not sure that that particular print is still available at the Doodlebug flea market. So this is the die that I used. This was back when Stephanie was with Sizzix, and it is called the Circle Flip Its number 4. I have been a fan of Flip Its for years, well, since they first came out, and they came out as the big, thick, steel ruled dies from Sizzix. And I bought those, and I still have them. I'm not sure if this particular one is available on the Stamps of Life, but they have a number of Flip Its cards there. And I wanted to show you, they always come with so many decorator dies. So this one has, of course, the circles for layering, some little border pieces that you can use, hi, get well soon, and sorry. So and their shadow dies. So you can do lots with these dies. And those are the decorator dies. And then here are the, if you've never seen a Flip Its die, so here is the main piece. So you run it through your die cutting machine and it does the cutting and the scoring for you. All you have to do is fold it. And then it comes with the layering pieces so that you can very easily and quickly create a polished card. The die does all the cutting for you, and as I said, it does the scoring, and the hardest part of making it is choosing the papers that you're going to use. But everything always lines up. I love layering dies with the set. How she demonstrated using this die to create that extra fold, because of course this is a cut line and this is a cut line. I'm splicing this into the video. So today is actually October 22nd, and while I made the card back in August to share in September for our Thanksgiving in Canada, our Thanksgiving is in October. And then it didn't get shared before our Thanksgiving, and then after our Thanksgiving I like to share some Halloween cards, so I thought I would bump it to November and share it for the upcoming US Thanksgiving. So I didn't worry about editing the video, and as I was looking at it today, I'm trying to understand what I was trying to show you, and it was making no sense to me, and I made the video. So I've spliced all that out of the video, and I've decided to just show you here, and hopefully this will make more sense to you. So she taped this down to a letter size piece of cardstock. This is the card base die, and the small section goes on the left and the larger, wider piece goes on the right. So she added it to a piece of letter size cardstock, and she just used removable tape, which is what I use. I use the purple tape, or I use a purple painter's tape, which is like for more delicate paintwork, I guess. But anyhow, so that's what I use. You can also use washi tape. You can use Post-it notes to hold it in place. And I thought this was brilliant. She took her scoring tool, held down the die, and then just ran her scoring tool down there, which gave her a score line from here to here. But it was enough that she could then fold this piece in along the score line. However, that would require a larger die cutting machine because this is an 8.5 inch width. And while I do have a larger machine, I wanted to show you how I do it using just my regular Platinum 6, which has a 6 inch width. So I cut my letter size cardstock at 6 inches. So this width here is 6 inches. And I also wanted to show you that this is not waste. I would never throw that away. That is a perfectly usable piece for adding layers to, for adding borders on either side, and then adding it to a card front for stamping and die cutting sentiments, images. I have a little plastic envelope, and this will just slide in that envelope until I'm looking for a scrap of white cardstock to stamp an image or a sentiment on, and then fussy cut or die cut it out. So save that piece. But we're going to do the same thing. We're going to use removable tape to attach it to the cardstock, and this narrower section on the left, wider section on the right. And again, the same thing here. I'm going to score down right along the edge. So you don't need any scoring board or anything like that. Normally when I am scoring, I use, this is a very, very, very old stylus. So this is generally what I use, although the varnish is coming off it. This is well used and well loved. But I don't think it will work with this placemat that I've got underneath. I might get texture or holes or something. So instead I'm using my bone folder. So just a score line, and it doesn't have to be a perfect score line. You just want a score line there that will allow you to fold this piece over. And then I'm going to kind of make it good and crisp with my bone folder there. And now I'm going to lay this back down. Here's where the removable tape really comes in handy. You want to make sure, oops, this is a fold and this is a cut line. So you don't want to put it like this, because that will cut that fold away and you'll end up with this piece and the backing piece, but not an additional flap. So you're going to slide this up so that, I'll show you from the back, that cut line is there. You want that fold to be right underneath the cut line. So I think that's good there. It's upside down right now, but I'm okay with that for just a second while I make sure I'm lining it up okay. Press down my removable tape and then I'll turn it the right way for you. So it is now ready to go through my die cutting machine, and you can see that it is, well, it's not straight, but it's mostly straight, and I will make sure it's straight. I'm a little fussy about that. Let's see there. Yeah. So it is underneath the cut line. So that fold is safe from being cut, and I will just run it through my Platinum 6 die cutting machine, and this is what you have when you're done. So there's the extra flap. Now, of course, it does overlap, so you just use scissors. And you can see, maybe it doesn't show up in video, but this is the same score line as here. The die does the cutting and scoring for you. So this score line here, we're going to cut away. I'm going to cut just on the outside of that score line. And I should have brought larger scissors over rather than just little snips, but cut that one away there. So, you know, you don't need any additional tools, which is brilliant, because the scoring line is there. It's easy to follow for the cutting line, and there is that perfectly sized extra flap. And I'm just going to grab the layering dies, which I conveniently put away, because the layering dies will still work to decorate this piece here. And if you rotate it and you want pattern paper on the inside, you can put it there, and then you can also put a pattern paper there. So these layering dies are used to cut coordinating colored cardstock, or pattern paper is what I generally use, and you can still use them to have even borders all the way around. So excited. Now to finish the rest of the card, for a Flip It's card, I just put my thumbnails in that center fold there and fold it down. You don't fold a Flip It's card flat down, you always do it in the air. So after I've done that one fold, I'm going to give my folds a little press with the bone folder, and now you just push this next fold away from you. I'm going to make sure the circle is inside there, push these away from you, and now I can put it down and make those folds nice and crisp as well. And there is the Flip It's with the extra fold. Now it's catching a little bit here, so what I would do for that is just, again, larger scissors would be better, but you can see I'm going to trim just a scant little bit off. See if I can catch it and show you. So not very much at all. and that takes away some of the added bulk in the fold there. I think this one is going to catch a little bit more, so I'm going to take just a tiny bit more off of it. And there, so it fits inside, and that's how she did her flippets, with an extra flap, all that extra room for writing a personal message or decorating. Very, very impressed. Even though this is months after I did the original filming, I still haven't done the 5x7 card, but it is on my list to do because I love it. I just have been busy with Halloween cards and Thanksgiving cards, and I have more ideas than time, I'm afraid. Okay, back to the video. Now I have a number of flippets dies that have a fancy edge, and I'm sure I can make that work as well, but the first one I wanted to try was with that straight edge, and I have a couple of those, and I have a 5x7 one as well, so I'm really looking forward to trying it on the 5x7 with an extra flap. Just gives you that extra little bit of room, because here I tend to just put a smaller section here to sign our name, and I will put the sentiment there, but to have a whole extra flap to add things to, I cannot wait to try this technique again. Oh, and I wanted to also show you my stamps that I used here. After months of not buying anything new, I did place a couple of orders. So I got this at scrapbook.com. It is the Catherine Pooler Give Thanks Sentiments. I was lucky enough to be part of a Catherine Pooler blog hop, and I am a huge fan of their inks and have been for years. Love the inks, use them almost exclusively. And being part of that hop, I got to try their papers and their stamps, and I immediately placed an order with them because I was so impressed with their stamps. I love the bold inking that it gives, and of course with their inks, I'm just such a fan. So when I saw that they had a Thanksgiving set out, and I've been using the same Thanksgiving stamp sets for like 10, 12 years, so it was really nice to have some new ones to put on my cards this year. If you enjoyed my video today, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to see more, and that's it for me today.